Hello, and welcome to my living room once again for another yoga practice. Today we're going to start a little bit differently. Instead of easy pose, we're going to start in what's called hero pose. So you're going to sit on top of your shins, your legs folded under you. You have two ways of doing this. You can either sit between your heels, so your heels are on either side of your butt, or if it's comfortable for you, and only if it's comfortable, you can tuck your toes under and sit on your heels more tall. But we are going to be here for a couple of minutes. So if staying on your toes is not comfortable, don't do it. And you can always come down if you change your mind. So when you've found a way to make hero's pose more comfortable for you, we're going to take our hands to heart center and hold them in lotus pose. So you're going to touch the heels of your hands, your thumbs, and your pinky fingers together. And everything else is going to spread open at your heart center. At this point, allow your eyes to close. And we're going to start to sink into this space, into this time, and come to our mat more completely. Of course, we are all burdened with the tedium of our days, of the little chores and the little deadlines, as well as the big ones that we have to carry out every day. Take the time to assure yourself that in this moment you can release those stresses. Letting go of them is going to allow you to get far more out of this practice here and now, and will allow you to return to the rest of your day recharged and renewed, replenished and ready to go. Begin to notice your breath. Notice how it whispers in and out, in tune with the patterns of your mind. Notice how your breath feels as it passes in through your nostrils. Feel how it sits inside of your chest and your lungs. Then feel how it whispers out of your body once again, carrying with it that which no longer serves you. Recognize the way that the oxygen you take in fuels your body. Feel how the oxygen passes through your entire system, fueling every cell. As you exhale, notice how you might feel a little bit lighter, having released any gaseous waste your body has produced. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. See if you can connect that to your diaphragm muscle. See if instead of pulling in through the lungs, you can pull by lowering your diaphragm, by flexing and releasing that muscle. Can you breathe into your stomach in this manner? Another practice that can bring your awareness even more focused onto your breath is called Ujjayi breathing. And what you're going to do is take the little muscles in the back of your throat and constrict your airway just slightly, so you can hear just a hint of a whispering as you inhale and exhale, almost like you're closing off your ears. You should be able to hear this inside of your own room, but it would be unlikely that the person next to you would hear this. Making your breath audible to yourself in this way can hone your focus in on it and make the breath a more intense experience for you. Once you have settled into your new rhythm, we're then going to work with the count of our breath. We're going to inhale as deeply as we possibly can for a count of 4. And we're going to put an extreme focus on our exhale to release anything that doesn't serve us by doubling that count and exhaling for a count of 8. Ready? Here we go. Nice deep inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a brief pause at the bottom of your exhale and then inhale as much as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale as much as you can. In, and hold it inside of you for just a little bit. Notice the air swirling inside of your lungs before that exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Try and push out just a little bit further to see if there's any little whisper of breath left inside of you. And take a nice deep inhale and try to resume your natural breathing rhythm. You may have noticed that this has changed slightly since before we started our breathing practice. And you feel like you've come back to a place of center. We're then going to fold forward along our mat, over our knees into child's pose. Bring your forehead all the way down to the mat, and instead of stretching your arms straight out in front of you, lie them by your sides. See if you can push them back towards your ankles with your palms resting face up. Breathe into the back body here and feel your spine start to elongate. Feel your breath starting to warm your body and prepare the energy for movement. Try clasping your hands behind your hips and lift them up and away from your body, pulling your shoulders back and away from your ears. On an exhale, you can lower them. Bring your hands around underneath your shoulders and push your way up into tabletop pose. This might be a good time to remove any extra layers as we're going to start to move a bit more. We're going to warm up our spines a little bit more by coming into our cat-cow series. On your inhale, you're going to lift your tailbone, lift your chin, and drop your stomach down toward your mat. Push your shoulders onto your back and away from your ears. And as you exhale, you're going to round your spine in the other direction. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, and pull your belly button up toward your spine. Inhale again, lift your tailbone, lift your chin, drop your stomach. And as you exhale, round your back again, dropping your tailbone back down and tucking your chin. Repeat cycling between these two poses with the natural rhythm of your breath. Pushing your stomach down, your chin and tailbone up with every inhale. And switching for every exhale. If you're finding any particular areas of tension as you move through this, feel free to pause the arch of your back and breathe into that area of tension for several breath cycles until you feel it loosen. We're now going to stretch side to side a little bit more. And as you exhale, you're going to push your right shoulder towards your right hip. Take your gaze back over your right shoulder. Inhale again to come back to a straight neutral spine. And exhale again to push toward the left. Push your hips left. Push your shoulder back toward your hips. Take your gaze back over the left shoulder. Again, with the natural rhythm of your breath, you're going to repeat through this cycle. Inhale to a straight spine and exhale to the right. Inhale straight and exhale to the left. Keep swinging through these poses with your breath to guide you. Once everything seems a little bit looser for you, come back to center on your inhale. And on your exhale, you're going to start walking your hands forward. Keep your hips right where they are, nice and tall in the sky. And allow your chest to sink down with the forward motion of your hands. Relax as far down into this as you can. Try not to hold yourself up with your arms. Once you've relaxed into that sufficiently for your own purposes, you're going to inhale yourself right back up. Take your knees and feet about as wide as your mat. And lower yourself down onto your elbows, keeping your back nice and long. And this is coming into frog pose. At this point, you're going to try and squeeze the ground between your knees, engaging your thigh muscles. The longer you can do this, the more benefit you're going to feel, but feel free to come out of this at any point that you need to. In order to do so, you're actually going to push yourself back up onto your hands. Bring your knees and ankles back together. And then we're going to meet again by pushing our hips back and coming into child's pose. This time you can leave your hands straight out in front of you. Sink yourself down and relax as fully into this as you can, breathing nice and deep breaths. Remember that throughout our practice, if at any point you are feeling strain that is beyond what is within your reach today, feel free to return to child's pose or any other resting pose. These are always here for you. And remember that yoga is a communication with your body. You should always be listening and responding. From here, you're now going to take your hands and walk them over to your right, letting a little bit of a side stretch come in. Relax down into this, breathing nice and deep into the side body. With every inhale, feel the expansion coming through the intercostal muscles between your ribs. And as you exhale, relax into that newly created space. On your next inhale, you're going to walk yourself back to center. Take a couple nice long breaths here and see if you can feel the difference between the left and right sides of your body. And on your next exhale, walk your hands over to the left this time. Relax and sink down into this. Do not push yourself further into the stretch. It'll defeat the purpose. Allow your relaxation to do it for you. That's going to pull best on the connective tissue and the fascia of the muscles. On your next inhale, you're going to walk yourself right back to center. And we're going to push ourselves up into our first down dog. Because this is our first one, we always want to put a little bit of extra movement into it. So go ahead, pedal your heels, push back and forth, Swing your hips side to side. Wiggle your shoulders. Swing your head. And let it hang heavy. We're going to take a couple extra breaths here. Feel free to keep moving or try to settle into stillness, whatever your body is calling you to do right now. Take a moment to listen to your body. From here, we're going to push ourselves forward into a high plank. Keep your body nice and straight as much as you can. Keep your shoulders on your back. Do not hunch. Then go ahead and push your hips right back up into down dog again. From here, we're now going to lift our right leg. Try to keep it nice and straight, in line with your body and point with your heel, not your toe. This is going to change where you are feeling the strain. If you point your toe, you're going to feel it more in your right leg. If you point your heel, you're going to feel it more in your lower back, and you're going to feel it in your left hamstring. From here, we're now going to curl our leg under toward our chest, bringing the knee nice and tight to us. And this time, we are going to point our toes. We swing our legs straight out, pointing up, up, up. And then we're going to stack our hips, bend our knee, and point those toes back toward our left shoulder. See how much of a curl you can put in while maintaining a nice solid foundation. Make sure that you are spreading your weight out through your fingertips of your hands and not dumping all that weight right into your wrists. Swing that right leg through and come to a lunge, putting that foot between your hands in front of you. And I'm going to lift right on up into Warrior One. Stack that knee right above your front foot and go ahead and turn that back foot out into about a 45-degree angle. From here, we're going to, you have two options. You can either fold yourself forward over your knee, putting your weight into your heel and into the ball of your foot, and allow yourself to hang heavy. This is going to stretch more of the upper back. If you want to push it into your lower back and you have the flexibility in your hamstrings, you can straighten that front leg and allow yourself to come all the way down. Take a couple of breaths here. If you find that you cannot relax into this pose, then you need to back off. If your muscles are tightening of their own accord, you are pushing too hard. We're going to come back up now. If you straightened your leg, you're going to put a bend right back into it. And we're going to come into side angle. You have a couple different options here on how far you want to bend. You can rest your elbow on your thigh. If you have, for example, a large book, typically in a classroom setting we would have blocks available. Not everybody has those at home, but you can use something beneath your hand to give you a little bit of space between you and the floor. Or if you have enough flexibility, you can come all the way down to the floor with your hand. Take your left arm and lift it straight up toward the sky. Take your gaze up towards your left hand. Remember to breathe. If you can't breathe fully, back off. On your next exhale, you're going to straighten your torso down again. Try to put both hands on the floor on the left side of your right foot. Putting the weight into the ball of your back foot, turn your heel out and lower it back down. Bend your back knee and shift your hips forward to come into lizard. You have a couple of options here again. If you are using a prop
to keep yourself a little further from the ground, put it under your hands here. You can keep your hands on the ground, or if you want to take this really deep, come onto your elbows and rest on your forearms. The deeper you breathe into the area where you are feeling the most tension, the most relaxation, the more relaxation you will get there, and therefore the most benefits. Whenever you feel you are approaching your limit, take one more deep breath before you back off. We're now going to raise ourselves back on up. Take your hands to either side of your foot, and we can step back into down dog. Take another chance to wiggle a little bit. Pedal your heels and see if you can feel the difference between the left and right side of your body, specifically your lower body. I'm now going to repeat for the left leg. Push it straight up, keeping a nice long straight line from your hands to your heel. Push your heel back, not your toes. Bring your knee into your chest and straighten back out again, this time pointing the toes. Bend your knee, stack your hips, and push that heel over toward your right shoulder. Take a couple deep breaths. And hold your balance from a firm foundation. Go ahead and swing your leg through in between your hands, come to a lunge. And lift up to a warrior one. Again, from here you can either bend forward over your knee, or you can straighten that knee and lower the stretch in your back. Again, take another couple of deep breaths in this forward fold. The deeper you can breathe, the more benefits you get from any given pose. Put a bend back in your knee if you straightened it, and we're going to come into our side angle again. Remember, you can put space between the floor and you, and it's going to make the pose less intense. Go ahead and open up, right arm straight up to the sky, and gaze up through that right hand. And bring your hands down both onto the right hand side of your left foot. Drop that back knee, shift the hips forward, and come into lizard again. Again, if you want to take this really deep, you can come down onto your elbows. Send your breath wherever you are feeling the most stress, most stretch, and most tension. Go ahead, press down through your hands, tuck your toes, and step back to down dog again. Drop your knees, push your hips back, and sink into child's pose. Take a few breaths here. When you're ready, shift up and forward into tabletop. We're going to do a little bit more of a upper body spinal twist. First, we're going to take our right arm and thread it underneath our left, coming down onto our right shoulder. Take a couple deep breaths into the back of the heart space, the upper back. There are a couple different arm variations for this pose for your left arm. I'm going to ask you to keep it bent right by, with your hand right by your face this time. On your next inhale, push right on back up to tabletop. And this time we're going to take our left hand and thread it under our right. Again, just bend your elbow to a right angle. Keep your hand right by your face. Breathe deeply. And inhale, push yourself back up into a tabletop. We're now going to play around a little bit with our tiger pose. Take your right leg and curl it up toward your chest and then extend it straight out behind you. Push out through your heel. If that feels nice and sturdy for you, you're going to take your left arm and you're going to extend it straight out in front. Try to push back through your heel and out through your fingertips at the same time. Make sure on your right hand that is supporting your weight, that it is distributed out through your fingertips and not all in your wrist. As on your next exhale, you can lower down your hand and your foot. We're going to repeat on the opposite side. Bring your left knee in toward your chest and then extend it out behind you, pushing out through that heel, keeping everything nice and straight. When you feel like you have a nice solid base, take your right arm and extend that in front of you. Push, push, push in both directions with your arm, with your leg. Keep your weight distributed out through that hand. And on your next exhale, go ahead and lower down. Think on back again to child's pose. Take a few deep breaths here and take the time to notice the humming sensation of your circulation moving through your body. Notice how your energy has been a little churned up by this motion. And go ahead and tap your toes and push back up into down dog again. Take another chance to let your head hang nice and heavy. Maybe swing it forward and back, side to side. Make sure that your shoulder blades are pushed back and down away from your ears. We're now going to walk, step, jump, however you want. Get your hands in between your feet. And we're going to roll our spines up nice and slow, stacking one vertebrae on top of the next and come all the way up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Here you're going to make sure that your shoulders are pushed back and down, keeping them far away from your ears. Open your palms on either side of you. Your feet should be about hip distance apart and your weight should be evenly balanced between them. Go ahead and bring your hands to prayer at heart center. And go ahead and dive down on an exhale and come into a nice full forward fold. As you take a nice deep inhale, feel space being created between your vertebrae as your body grows. And as you exhale, sink into that newly created space. As you repeat this process, you can almost feel your spine growing longer. On your next inhale, bring yourself up to a half fold. Straighten your back out as much as you can. Push your crown toward the opposite side of the room. Push your tailbone back behind you. And as you exhale, sink down, down, down to that forward fold again. And on your next inhale, go ahead and roll your spine up. Go as slow as you possibly can. As you get to the top, make sure you roll your shoulders back and down away from your ears. Let your head come up very last of all. And one more time on an exhale, we are going to forward fold. This time, put your hands down and step back into down dog. This time we're going to lift our right leg nice and high, push it up, 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 up to the sky, and see if you can actually, keeping it straight, push your knee toward your head. See how far you can push that split. Make sure you can breathe. Make sure you're not feeling any extra heat in the area. Listen to your body and know where your limits are. Come near them. Don't push past them. From here, we're now going to step through. Bring our foot nice and close to our left hand. Rock your knee out to the side and come right on down into pigeon pose. Point your back toes out behind you. Make sure that left leg is nice and straight, taking a glance back. On your exhale, you're going to let yourself fold all the way forward. Come down as far as is comfortable for you. Find a place that you can relax into, that place between effort and ease. Breathe into your inner hip or your hamstrings, wherever you are feeling the most stretch. Remember that oxygen is fuel for your cells. The deeper your breath, the greater your capacity. When you're ready, you're going to push yourself right back up to a nice straight spine. And we're going to twist a little bit by lifting our left arm right up to the sky. Let this twist come from your core. Do not lead with your arm. Your arm follows. Breathe into your lower back here. And when you exhale, you can drop right back on down. Tuck your back toes. And as we push back, instead of coming all the way back to down dog, we're going to stay on our back knee here. And let our leg kind of rotate out and around and come back into a half split. Pull back on that front leg, keeping your heel right where it is. You should feel this coming in through your hamstring. Now we're going to rock back on forward, put our hands down, and this time we are going to come into downward dog. This time we're going to repeat on the other side. Lift your left leg up as high as you can. Push into that nice vertical split. Remember to respect the limits of your body. Approach them, don't push through them. Go ahead and step on through forward. Bring your foot toward your right hand and rock your knee out, coming into pigeon. Point those back toes and shift your hips down. On an exhale, let your body sink forward and relax down toward the mat. Breathe into whatever area is feeling the most tension. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk yourself right back on up. And this time you're going to take your right arm and lift up toward the sky. Take your gaze with it. If you want to go ahead and lean back, make sure you are twisting from the core, twist from your spine. Do not use your arm to pull you. And you can exhale back on down. Again, as you tuck your toes and push up, we're going to keep that back knee down and push ourselves back into a half split. You're going to feel this on the back of the left leg. Shift forward again, put your hands down on either side of that foot and go ahead and shift back into down dog again. Go ahead and put a little extra stretch in if you want. Push your hips up and back, allow your chest to sink closer to your thighs, that head to hang heavy. Take a deep breath and push just a little bit further into that stretch. And on your exhale, you can lower your knees down and sink back into child's pose. After a breath or two here, we're actually going to tuck our toes underneath us again. Go ahead and reach your hands back behind you and grab your heels. And with your forehead still on the ground, try to lift your hips. This is going to stretch out your upper back quite a bit. And on an exhale, you can release that. From this point, we're going to sit on up and transition back into a seated pose. Bring your legs out in front of you. And from here, we're going to work a little bit on our core. So go ahead and lean back onto your hands and lift your knees up just a little bit, keeping those shins parallel to the floor. And at this point, you're really just using your hands for balance. Don't put too much weight into your hands. And once you have a nice firm balance, go ahead and bring your hands to prayer. You're going to feel this most in your lower core and a little bit in your thighs as well. Lower down for a second, just if you need to. If you don't, go ahead and just open right on up, straightening those knees. You're going to have to lean your torso back a little bit more and open up all the way into boat pose. You can straighten your arms if that's better for you. You can keep your hands at prayer. If you need to, go ahead, bend your knees again and put your hands back behind you to help with that balance. This is about strengthening your core. This is not about perfection. Remember, yoga is a practice, not a mastery. From your boat pose, once you're ready to relax on down, you're going to roll onto your back. Keeping those knees nice and bent with your feet on the floor, you're going to start by taking your right ankle and crossing it over your left knee into figure four pose. Pull your left knee towards you. You can grab it either around the outside of your leg, or you can thread your arm through your right leg and hold underneath the left knee. Either way, you're going to pull it towards you until you can feel a little bit of a stretch in that right leg. And on an exhale, you're going to release again, and you're going to shift over and swap around. Again, this time you're going to grab your right leg and pull it towards you. Hold it nice and firm. And breathe into wherever you are feeling the most stretch. On an exhale, you can go ahead and release. On your inhale, you're going to push your heels up, up, up toward the sky. And allow gravity to do a little switch up on your legs here. We spend a lot of time letting our blood drain down into our legs and feet. This can be a little bit refreshing to switch it up. Go ahead and lower your feet down to the ground. Keep your knees bent. And we're now going to inhale our hips right on up into bridge pose. If you feel sturdy enough, go ahead and clasp your hands under your back. Try to bring your shoulder blades a little closer together and a little more down your back, behind you. That's going to allow you to push your hips even higher. On an exhale, go ahead and release your hands and lower your spine down one vertebrae at a time, seeing if you can pull your tailbone closer and closer to your heels. Once you're all the way down, take a brief pause, and then inhale right on back up. This time, if you want to take that a little bit more intense, you're going to lift your right foot. Keep your knees parallel and push out with your heel. And on the exhale, you're going to go ahead and lower your foot and lower your spine down, rolling it out, dropping it one vertebrae at a time again. Inhale up to our third and final bridge. This time, if you want to take your left leg straight out, keep your knees in line with each other, push with your heel. And then exhale your foot on down, lower that spine down. This time we're going to bring our knees up to our chest and give ourselves a nice tight squeeze. Go ahead and rock back and forth a little bit. This is going to allow the ground to give you a little bit of a gentle back massage. From here, you're going to let both of your legs drop over to the right side of your body for a nice final twist. Take your arms to a T, making sure your shoulders stay back down away from your ears. And go ahead and take your gaze over the left arm. Try and breathe deeply into your stomach here. Inhale yourself back on up to center. You can keep your arms at a T. And exhale your legs over to the left side of your body, letting them drop down to the floor. Take your gaze over your right arm. Nice deep breaths here. Inhale back on up to center once again. Hug your knees tight to your chest. Rock back and forth just a little bit, feeling that gentle massage. From here you're going to open your knees and you're going to grab for your feet. And push your knees back toward the floor and apart, coming into happy baby. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly transition into our final resting pose. So go ahead and make any last movements that your body is calling for. Whether that's wiggling your wrists and fingers, ankles and toes. Any last stretching that your body would appreciate, go ahead and grant that wish. This is also a good time to put on any clothing or grab any blankets that you would like, because your body temperature does tend to drop in this resting position. Once you've found your way into this final resting pose, bring your attention back to the sensations of your body. See if your circulation's hum has created any new feelings within you. See if any muscles are behaving in a new manner when at rest. Bring your awareness and focus to your breath. See if the natural patterns and rhythms of it have changed at all. Feel how this practice has altered your body's natural needs, its desires, and its habits and reflexes. Take this opportunity to thank yourself for coming to your mat today and taking this opportunity to recharge and renew yourself. Having taken this time, you will now find yourself more capable of the challenges that you are about to face, the obstacles that you do have throughout your day. By setting them aside for a period of time, you are now more able to handle them. Remember that you are a being of light and energy. Every molecule inside of you was once created within the heart of a star. You are powerful in ways that you may or may not comprehend. And you have the ability to push forward and through. You have the ability to accomplish. Once again, come back to your breath and take a couple extra deep inhales. Once again, feeling how the oxygen fuels you, fuels your muscles and your whole body. Bring a little bit of motion back in by wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe circling your wrists and ankles a little bit, rocking your head back and forth. Take your arms up above head and stretch your legs and arms out in both directions for a nice full body stretch. When you're ready, go ahead and roll over onto your left side and push yourself up into a seated position. Either allow your eyes to remain shut or keep your gaze nice and soft on the ground in front of you. And go ahead and bring your hands to prayer and heart center. I would like to thank you for sharing your practice with me today. It is an honor and a gift to be able to share mine with you. The light within me honors the light that resides within you. Namaste.